Okay, cool. We're good. So how's things? How's your trading been recently?
Good. It has improved a lot from where I started. I
Yeah,
started with POW a year and a half ago, and it's been improving since.
good, good, good. Glad to hear it. Let's start with like going through a little bit about your background and how you got into trading in the first place, and then we'll move on to like your progress inside Power, etc., etc.
I I started algo trading also with a little bit before joining POW, and I joined because I work from home. I was having time. I've always been interested in trading. But I never thought you could actually trade with bots. I thought it was a scam. And so I never paid attention to it. Um, I do not work in finance and I have never worked in finance, even though my degree has a little bit of finance in it. I did a BBA in Europe, but I never pursued that path. I ended up doing a little bit of project management and a little bit of marketing after I graduated, and I'm still doing a little bit of that.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, I, I recently graduated. Actually, it was also like 2022. I graduated end of 2022, and since then I've been working from home in different companies. I've had the time to like explore,
Trade.
other, yeah, trading. And I also tried, how to say that, like affiliate marketing and other stuff. But I stayed with trading because it was something I really liked.
Okay,
Um,
good.
and here I am.
Lovely stuff. So what would you say like three things you struggled with in regards to like let's go to like the trading side of things. Like what would you say three things you struggled with before you found Power?
A good algorithm because they sell a lot of crap and there's a lot of noise in the market. So it was actually the first good bot I encountered,
Yeah.
and I really liked it. So second, the support. Once you buy a bot, they never answered back or they just leave
There's
you
never
because
support, right? There's
no,
literally never
there,
support.
there's not. And the third thing is a community because I've been able to grow not only because, well, you have educational courses and because I've put in the work myself, but
Yeah.
also because of the community. So I read a lot. I'm not very active now, but I always read what's happening, so I
Yeah.
kind of gather what's happening in the market and with people's strategies. So I learn from what's happening there, and I apply
Yeah.
that into my trading.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most powerful things is the community. Like I learned so much from some of the members. Like there's a lot of smart people in there.
Oh
So
yeah, that's a fact.
yeah,
That
some of
if
them
you
are
don't,
too smart. They're too smart for me. I read some of it and I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And then a
a
few
lot
weeks
of
later,
programmers,
it's
a lot of
crazy.
programmers. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no.
There's a lot
They
of
have improved. A lot of people has they don't know, but they have
yeah,
improved my trading.
yeah. I was reading. Is it that link of what Gosta um
Mm,
sent the other day, and
incredible.
I'm
I
reading
know.
that and I'm like, I don't even know what half of this means, but I know it's going to be amazing later on down the line. So I kind of have to learn it.
He
Like
he,
I've got no
he
choice.
actually
Otherwise,
mentioned something like that. The code he mentioned it before, and I was like, I need to have what he's having. Like
yeah,
he
yeah,
did made something, and he was just offering there, and I was like, I need to have that because the good thing with that code is that you can actually put 40, 50 sets with super
yeah,
low drawdown, and then that thing will just filter the sets and make sure you have never more than X sets trading at
yeah,
the same time. So you're protected, but you can trade every day anyway. So that was
yeah.
very interesting.
It maximizes the amount of sets that you're using, right? So If
In
that's
maximum open,
correct.
that can have open trades. So for example, if your
Okay.
input is 7, only you could have 80 sets, but only 7 will be trading at the same time.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
one closes and then there's a spot available.
Oh wow,
So,
that's
and you can also modify the number of sets. So you could, instead of 7, you could put 5, 4, 10,
yeah.
whatever you want.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tapping into that. So, if nothing had changed before you found POW, where do you think you'd currently be?
I have no clue. That's a really good question because
It's a
I
tough
spend a
question.
lot of I spend a lot of my time trading. So perhaps it was the path I was supposed to take.
Good, good, good.
Maybe
Yeah, love it. Love it. Good, good, good. How would you say that's affected you personally? Like,
I I at first, well, this was an idea I had before I started university. I thought I wanted to get into the big banks and just be a good employee and make a lot of money by being an employee. After university, I realized that was not what I wanted to do, and that's what I was looking for alternatives. And trading was the alternative I ended up staying with.
yeah,
And it's a process. I mean, you have to put in the work, but that's like that's the
same as
normal
every.
thing to do. Put in
Yeah,
the work is what you have to do if you want to succeed in something.
yeah,
Um, so I'm still learning. It's there's a lot of things to still improve,
yeah,
and I don't think we could ever say that we've mastered this skill because
yeah.
there's always something new and
It's a
something new to
never-ending.
learn. Yeah, but definitely it has like directed my path towards something different. Uh, that I think that I've succeeded in this, of not fully, but I'm in the path too.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and this is
always
what
think
I
that's the main thing, to be honest. Like for me, I always say to people, like, as long as you're on the right path, like that's all that really matters. Because when you're not on the right path, that's when you get distracted and you're looking for, all these different avenues to go down. And can't really make your mind up what to do. But when you're on the right path, like you just got to follow the path. You just got to stay on it. So
definitely you have to stick to it, to something at least. And I decided to stick here, and I've seen results. So
yeah. So what have you focused on whilst you've been inside POW? Have you focused mainly on the bank at EA? Have you focused on Red Alert? Are you, did you start off by using Edge at all?
I I purchased the banker from the start, and I'm still using the banker. And in order to fully learn how to use it properly, I at first we were doing 8 to 2. I don't know if you remember, but we were
No.
doing like super short optimizations,
Yeah.
and the result was pretty bad because we ended up over optimize again and again. So I from there I just started, I decided that I only wanted to optimize for a while to in order to understand how banker works. And that's how I actually learned how the bankers open a sequence and what makes the banker open a sequence. And I fully, like, whilst I was doing that, I was learning how to properly use the indicators.
Yeah.
And that's what I started to do. And right now, I know that over optimization is not something you can avoid in sequential bots like Banker. Like, there's a moment where your sequence is going to be larger than it was in your backtest.
Yeah.
It can be weeks, days, or months, but there's going
Yeah.
to be a moment. So I decided that I like what actually allowed me to trade the way I'm trading now is getting to know like the good things, what the banker could do, and what were their weaknesses, strengths and weaknesses. And
Yeah.
once I understood the weaknesses, now I can work with that.
There
So
we go.
instead of fighting over optimization, I just know that is from there's it's gonna happen. Like this, a bigger sequence is gonna happen. So
Yeah.
how am I gonna be prepared to handle that sequence?
Yeah.
And
This,
that's
this,
basically what I did.
this is the right mindset. Like I wanna I want to write this down because this is what I try and explain to people all the time is one, it's not a guarantee what you're seeing on the back test, but also like just be like just be aware of the downsides as well. Like I think what happens when you come in is one, you see all the weekly wins and you see people posting their results, and like you've probably seen all the stuff on Instagram or social media, and you think that it's just going to be like plug it in, do your back testing, and away we go. It's going to be, you know, everything good
Yep.
and everything rosy. But what happens is first day you go over your maximal drawdown that you've seen on the back test. All of a sudden, you know, what the hell's
Yeah.
going on? Is it, have I
Yeah.
done something wrong? Like all these things kind of come into your head when really what it is like, I think when you first join, you don't consider that there's going to be any downsides. It's always just like, oh, it's only just going to be positive. It's just going to be up, up, up. But I think once you like you just said, like once you start considering the downsides and you actually accept it, not just kind of think about it, but actually accept it that this is just part and the reality of trading, especially with an algorithm, then I think it becomes a whole lot easier. And just planning and preparing for those downsides. So yeah, well done. Great start. What sort of
Thank you,
success have you
Michael.
seen whilst inside POW? Like, have you managed to get funded at all? Any withdrawals?
Yeah, I've used since I started using Banker properly in order to handle big moves. I've been founded. I already have. I've had withdrawals. It's because I have other algorithms, but with Banker, I've definitely had withdrawals, and it's the Banker I'm using right now in 2 or 3 accounts I have in OnlyFans already, and I'm pretty close to withdrawal date with one of them,
Only fun.
2 of them, I think. Yeah,
Only good.
but I already had withdrawals. I don't use it to pass challenges because of
Yeah,
the thing I told you, but I think that with the FX Blue code, it is
yeah.
possible.
Okay.
It is possible with that one.
Uh-huh.
I use it for, sustain the accounts, go to 1-2% per month with,
Yeah.
a good portfolio, low drawdown. Yeah,
And so,
prepared to handle big sequences.
so to pass the challenges, have you been using FastPass
I
or
have
your own,
my own HFT
your
bot,
own
but
HFT? Yeah. So
yeah,
you've been getting instant guaranteed funding, and then so you've got your guaranteed funded accounts, and then you're using Banker EA to get your withdrawals and tick over at once.
exactly. But in a steady, calm way. Like I'm just
No stress.
going for no stress free. Exactly.
Yeah, love it.
Especially this week. It is NFP end of month, beginning of month is the worst week you could ever
Yeah.
uh, be trading with big lot sizes and or like short bip step. Yeah, no, don't recommend.
Yeah. So after seeing this success and after seeing, you know, that you can achieve these 1 to 2%, you know, withdrawals every month, and you can scale and stack your accounts, how would you say that's, you know, affected you personally? Has it grown your confidence? Like, has it affected other areas of your life at all, knowing that you can, you know, achieve that sort of success?
Yeah, definitely. Because then I know for sure that there's another path that I can take.
Hmm.
It's definitely taking, like before I used to overwork, because I thought that I needed to have like different jobs in order to make the amount of money that I wanted to make. Right
Yeah.
now, it's not the case anymore, so I can have a better balance.
Love
But at first, it was more work. Like when I first joined,
Yeah.
I was optimizing every day. While I was working and optimizing at the same time, so it was a
Yeah.
lot of work. Like to get to where I'm at, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I know that if people just read what's being said right now
Yeah.
at the community, they would avoid having to do what I did. Like,
Yeah. I kind of agree. Just not with you, like just looking at my own kind of journey itself, is like yes, like now if people just don't make those same mistakes and kind of just follow the information, they can get there a lot quicker. But then again, it is what it is, really. Like, even though it's taken this long to get to where you are, or to get where I am, it's like it's all part of the journey. So personally,
It discriminates people.
I think it's better for the long run. I think it's easy to get quick wins. I really do. I've seen people come into the group and straight away they get good wins and quick wins, but those kind of never last, because you have to go through the shit in order to get to the long term, more sustainable way of trading, which is where you're at right now. So great stuff. So could you give me 3 reasons why you would recommend POW?
The community is one. 2, there's a lot of things you can do with Banker. Like, you can change the way you trade almost immediately because of the feature it has. So an example, I was optimizing range in a certain way. So the way I optimize for range is I actually look for high RSI, the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
And then I confirm in a lower time frame that the reverse is happening. And I was confirming it in a way that was no longer valid for some pairs, because recently pairs have been moving in one direction way longer than they were doing. That was not happening last year, right? So I realized the market was kind of shifting, and then my live data was not matching what my backtest were showing. My sequences were getting longer, so I just realized for several pairs at the same time, the way I optimized was not working anymore for that strategy in particular. So I changed it, and now it is working again. But I changed it in the whilst trading. So I realized the market was shifting.
Yeah.
And thanks to the fact that the Banker has many ways of that it has so many features, you can actually try to see if you could adapt your strategy to what the market is currently doing.
I think that's the word right there, is like you can adapt and adjust as you go along, like according to your own awareness of what the market's doing.
Exactly.
Can you give me 2 other reasons?
Okay, so it said the community.
One other reason, actually. You gave me a community. It can the ability to trade many different ways, and give me one more reason on why you'd recommend POW.
And the fact that it is consistent. Once you learn how to use it, it is consistent. And it is consistent for other people other than me, and I know that. You just have to find what's going to work for you.
Yes. I think that's the main thing, is going back to the whole consistency thing. Like, I think because of the way Darren has set everything up and taught everyone how you be consistent, it's not like you join and then automatically you're consistent. It's like you join and you follow the process, and then by following the process, you're able to be more consistent. Just to make that clear.
I would just suggest, if I were to suggest something, you're not asking, but I'm saying, I think the process could have, like, the part that people don't understand and where people most struggle is with the over optimization part, like the fact that you don't see in the live market what happened in your backtest. And if this part could only be, I don't know, maybe explain to people what actually happens and why it happens. At the end of the day, for sequential bots that open sequences, it is going to happen. Like, no matter the bot, it is a reality. The sequence is gonna end up being larger at some point. So if people could just understand that, I think their path would be smoother, and they will make like better decisions than what they're making. Sometimes, like, there was a guy that was still doing 822 till very recently, because he said like, okay, I'm just in a stuck in a loop. So there's a reason why everyone moved from that, you know.
Yeah.
So probably it would help some people out. Even it would have helped me. Like, you know,
Mm.
it was all me. I'm proud of myself for getting here on my own, but you know, it was a very long process. And I know that not everyone has the same time, you know, the same, they cannot spend that amount of money in optimizations and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I know that it could smooth people's process without giving them like everything, because I also build my own ini files. They're my own, like I build them from scratch basically. So yeah, and I build some strategies. For example, I have my range strategy this way, you know, like I told you, like RSI high time frame, but then low time frame verification for me
Yeah.
to enter based on some other indicators and stuff like that. But and that is also a lot of work to put in individually. So I think if this part, like the over optimization part, that is what people struggle most with, was like
Yeah.
better explained, they could stop like making so many mistakes, like, and some like
Yeah.
stupid mistakes, you know, that,
No,
yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. It's the only thing is like what was I gonna say there? Yeah, the only thing is like you can literally map out everything from A to B for someone, but they still go off and
Yeah,
follow
no,
their own route. Like
I know
trying
people.
to, yeah, just trying to explain this to someone and trying to like it's not actually, yeah, it's not, sometimes it's like out of your hands, you know. You can literally map it out and have the perfect process, but I'm not saying power is by any means perfect, because perfection doesn't exist, but you can have the perfect process and still someone would and go off that process, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think we've definitely made the process a lot easier with the introduction of, you know, portfolio builder and power
Oh yeah,
score and all of these
that's a
different things.
gem.
The
Oh yeah,
process
I
is
forgot to say that. I forgot to say that. I will
yeah,
also join Power just for the tools that you give people,
yeah,
so that they have a that they optimize first a lot
the
faster, and two, they can build portfolios in like in
second
hours
minutes.
instead of
Yeah,
days and stuff like that. Yeah.
it's so, yeah, it's very unique what has happened over the past, you know, 12 months or so. But I'm not going to take up too much of your time, so I just want to thank you and appreciate you jumping on the call. I'm just going to click to end record, and then